Wow. Tymon, you mad scientist. So, Tymon Kolasiński. What can I say about him? Pseudo-slotting god, innovator, becomes incredible at every event he decides to practice, hard worker, one of the fastest 3x3 solvers. Actually, that's not even right anymore. The fastest cuber in the world. He just broke the 3x3 world record average with 5.09 seconds, absolutely sending Max Park to the Shadow Realm. No, I'm just kidding, Max. If anyone can come back and beat this, it's you. But this video is about Tymon's hard work after years finally paying off. Tymon's solutions are super smart. I was really excited when he got the world record to look at what happened in these solutions, and after seeing them, I am very excited to show you guys. But first, let's all get ready to feel stupid. For this average, Tymon used the GAN 11M Pro. Mine is transformed into the GAN 1112, so I'll just be using this. Shoutouts to Stewie for the reconstruction. The scramble is done white top and green front, and Tymon started with the yellow cross. He faced red and started by putting in blue and orange. And putting in orange knocks out green, which is the replacement technique. These three are solved, and then you can put in green afterwards like that. You notice from inspection that the corner here is attached to green, which means after doing this part of the cross, then this corner is going to be solved. And then instead of doing D2 right away, he finds the edge as well, and then takes it out, and then puts it in the correct spot right here. And then if you align the cross here, you get an X cross. That's all I would have noticed, but Tymon also noticed that the orange-blue corner happened to be solved by inserting this edge, so he also solved this edge, and that is done with a wide U to put the slot right here, and then insert this into the back. And then you can do another wide U in order to solve a double X cross. Now it's important to look at why he did wide U instead of D moves, because these do the same thing, except they make you face a different side at the end depending on which one you did. In this case, to align the cross, he did a wide U move, which gives him a rotationless orange and green pair, which wouldn't be true if he had done the D move. He'd be facing this side, except the red-blue pair would also be rotationless, so either way was fine, but he went for this one, which gave a paired up red-blue afterwards, so that was the best option. Then he inserted this pair like this, and this gives an easy OLL, just fat soon. And then this G-perm, and before you start the G-perm, you should notice that these headlights are in the right spot, which means no U move after the algorithm. Okay, this solver requires such a big brain. This is a cross. An X cross is when you find an efficient way to extend that cross into an extra F2L pair as well, and a double X cross or XX cross is when you have two pairs done as well. Tymon makes his own double X crosses. I get a double X cross when the scramble decides to give me one for free. Just for comparison, I, a mere mortal, will show you what I would have done. I would have started by facing orange because I like the finger tricks for this a little bit better. I would have seen the X cross but not actually done it, and I'll show you why. So here is the same basic cross solution and then D2, and now here is the edge, here is where it belongs. It looks kind of bad, but from here there's a great solution, and that is like this. The finger tricks were great. I have a solved back slot and good visibility. I was very impressed with what I found here until I saw Tymon's 15 move double X cross. And for how smart that solution was, it averaged over 10.5 turns per second across the entire solve. Solve 2 was a 4.83, and if you just look at the reconstruction, it kind of looks like a joke. 2 free pairs, really? But unless you're smart about how you do your cross, the first pair is not free. So if you want to try for yourself, it is the yellow cross, and you have to preserve this orange-blue pair into the top layer. The way that Tymon did this was first putting in red, and then the pair ends up here, and you have to make sure it's on the top because this isn't great. So next he moves blue over and then inserts it like this, and then does wide U to align the cross. That way this is a rotationless pair into the back. Notice that for the last 3 moves, wide moves are actually unnecessary. You could do this instead, but the finger tricks are a bit tougher, and you have a solved front slot instead of a back slot, which is worse on average. So after he solved the pair in the back, there was this free pair, and just solved this one into the back as well. Next there is this pair and this pair. What he does next is solve these two like this, and then inserts with a U2, and that way you don't have to regrip for the insert. I would actually advise to do something different here. Instead of solving this the way that he did, I would do this instead to pair them up, because it takes out the flipped edge and that makes for a better case usually. But he paired them up like this and inserted into the back. Then there's this, and he did it in a way so that all the edges on top are oriented, and that is like this. insert. And then here he kind of messed up. He did R prime U prime starting some ZBLL algorithm. I don't know a lot of ZBLLs, so I don't know what exactly he was doing, but he reversed them and then did this. And the way to solve this case is with a soon. And then this sets up another soon. So you do U prime and then do another soon, U2. That was a ZBLL algorithm which solves any case starting from a cross on top. There are a lot of algorithms for this that I have not learned, so I can't really analyze it, but a lot of world-class solvers now use a lot of ZBLL, so it is something to look into. On the third scramble, he gets a 5.24, doing yellow cross for the third time in a row. I am pretty sure he's color neutral, but yellow was just pretty good this average. Wait, is yellow even that good? I feel like I would for sure go for blue cross on this scramble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 move X cross. And there's even a solved edge, so maybe I could have done a double X cross if I planned it more. Oh, 3 move pair. I might have liked blue a little more, honestly. Wait, orange has a 1 move square. Wait, oh no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 move X cross on orange as well? Wait a minute. Oh, I'll skip. All right. Orange was better. I'm better than Tymon, confirmed. Anyway, let's look at what Tymon did on yellow. So he did this and this to align green, and here's red. And then before inserting green, he did F2 to solve orange, and this. Now, this pair is here and blue is not in yet. So what he did actually was instead of L, he did L2. So you can quickly get this pair in like that. If I had to do yellow cross, I actually would have the same idea, but I just would have done it way worse. And how I would do it is actually like this in order to do the first 2 moves, and that puts me in the same position, but then I just think the finger tricks work out to be slightly worse this way, so Tymon is better than me, confirmed. Now, I don't know if you noticed there was actually a solve pair in the back here, which he broke by inserting blue-red so efficiently, so sometimes being really good cannot be good. It would have been better to just finish the cross and then solve this, and wow, I can kind of see everything, but then for second pair, he did this, so he rotated and inserted this into the back. Here, he messed up the U2 and didn't finish it, then did this again, and maybe that gave him more time to see this, but I'm sure his look ahead was already great. So then he inserted this, and then last pair is this one, pretty straightforward, and then this OLL, he does it like this, and then A perm. Unlike Max Park, he actually does D2 flicks. Let's go. On solve 4, Tymon got a 6.57, but don't let this fool you. It was just a mistake near the end. This was such a smart solve and could have been really good. Again, it is yellow cross, but this cross solution actually blows my mind. Here, Tymon makes an X cross on yellow using this pair. And it is really hard to use this pair. If you told me to make an X cross using this pair on yellow, I think it would take me a minute or 2 to figure out how to do this. So in this cross, red and blue are easy, but orange and green are here, and the thing you have to think about is you eventually want this pair over here and the orange cross piece above it right here, and that would make a square. So let me show you what that would look like that, but you need to achieve that while making the rest of the cross. So what he does is red and blue first, then the yellow-orange edge over here like this, and that keeps this red cross piece here, and he has to do it now and not later, because if he had not done it now and just started aligning the cross and then put this one in here, well, if you do it now or if you do it after another D move, you don't get this pair in the right spot anymore. So not only are these 3 moves tough to find in order to get this to pair up afterwards, but you have to know that you're trying to make this and figure that all out in 15 seconds. Oh, anyway, he somehow magically made this corner as well. I'm sure he saw that in inspection. He's a genius at this. So he then solves this one and avoids a rotation like this, and then inserts it, and then takes it back. Wait, no, he didn't do that. He did a D prime move because he's smarter than me, and he knows that by doing that, he avoids a rotation on the next pair. Smart man. Next is this pair, and I would have just done it beginner method way because that gives you a cross on top, but I guess he wanted to do it a different way, maybe the finger tricks, I'm not exactly sure, but he does it like this. He makes the pair here first and also creates the cross on top, and that is like this. R prime F R to take the cross piece out, pair it with this, and then R prime F prime R. This was a bit rough. We have just 2 twisted corners here, and what he did was U prime to kind of recognize, I guess, but I think misrecognized and made a mistake and then went back and then did the algorithm, which is anti-soon, U2, and then back anti-soon. Put yourself in his shoes for a moment. On this solve, you finished F2L and reached ZBLL in 3.6 seconds. To tie world record average, you would have needed a 5.90, which is easy at this point. To break world record average, you would have needed a 5.87, and then the hesitations, and then the lockups. 6.57. It is not world record average, but it should have been. That is the pressure and nerves you are going up against going into Solve 5, but this time you only have one shot. But of course, we know what happens. Tymon clutches it by getting a 5.20 on the last solve, and he does it by moving off of yellow cross for the first time in this whole average. And it's obvious why. The blue cross is so easy. It is 1, 2, 3 moves. Well, ask an intermediate solver and they may give you the cross in 3 moves, but Tymon, the pro that he is, does it in 4 moves, because if you do a U prime before you start, you get this paired up. Nice. Now, when the cross is so easy, you shouldn't just start the solve. You should use the rest of your inspection time to look for your first pairs. So I actually would have done this one first, like this, and then solve this one afterwards. But again, Tymon proves he is better than me. His inspection is incredible. He found this pair, which is actually better. Now, I'm not going for the most obvious stuff because I'm lazy. It's because that's all I can do in 15 seconds. But Tymon finds that if you insert this pair with L prime U2L, you get this one paired and you can just insert it right away afterwards. Then he does this pair, which is super easy to track that whole time. And normally how you would do it is something like this. If it is over here, you can do R prime U prime R to set up this case, and then do it like this. That is generally very efficient, but if you have the corner here already, the best way is what he did, which is like this. Set up this case, and then do that case normally. Then there is this pair, and again he does ZBLS, which is last slot while making the cross on top, and that is by moving it over here and doing this, sledgehammer. It sets up this case, which you can solve by pairing them, and then doing sledgehammer instead of the normal insert, and that would look like this to give you a solved cross. But you may have noticed you could also do M prime and then insert normally and end with the wide move. This is also fine, it gives you a PLL, but since Tymon knows a lot of ZBLLs, then this is not really necessary. So he knew many moves beforehand, before even looking at this part, that sledge was going to give him all the edges, so he just does this and then takes the ZBLL. Now, I just want to say this is extra clutch of him to recognize the ZBLL so quickly. There are not a lot of blocks on this one, so it's not a free recognition. It's actually pretty tough. So he does the ZBLL, and then gets the world record average. Fun fact, on the last solve, he would have needed a 4.91 or better in order to get a sub 5 average. Last month, after Max Park broke the world record, I made a prediction that in August of 2022, we will get our first sub 5 average. I'm just shaking my boots with my prediction because I thought that was actually pretty soon, but I don't know, it could get broken before that. We'll have to see. So congrats to Tymon for being the best 3x3 solver in the world right now, and Pyraminx, go check out the world record average on his channel. The reaction to it is incredible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.